see if there's a guy over here. Oh, there we go. Yep, there's another one. There's another one. Oh, two more. Yes! Double kill. There we go. We're on our way. Oh, here, I'll get that guy. Go see if there's something upstairs. Oh, dear grief. Hey guys, Level Up here at On Point Tactical. Today we're going to be looking at the F2000 assault rifle that will not be making a return in the vanilla version of Battlefield 4. I'm saddened to see it go because it was one of my favorite assault rifles in Battlefield 3. Just something about its recoil pattern and its rate of fire make it a skill-based gun that is very rewarding to use well because not everybody has the ability to use it well. So the F2000 does a standard 25 damage through about 8 meters and drops off to 18.4 damage at 50 meters. It has a suppression ratio of 7%. It is unlocked at 124,000 points in the assault class. It has a standard ammunition capacity of 30 plus 1 rounds in a magazine. It fires the standard 5.56 by 45mm NATO rounds. Its reload time is 2.5 seconds on a short reload and 3.5 seconds on a long reload. So whenever you do need to reload, you would best be kind of thinking about it, because 2.5 seconds is plenty of time for somebody to rush your position and shoot you in a high-speed first-person shooter like Battlefield 3. The muzzle velocity is 600 meters per second, so trying to lead your targets at ranges isn't going to be that difficult until you add this gun's recoil pattern into the mix. So, this gun's recoil pattern is 0.26 up, which is 0.02 less than the M16. It has a 0.5 pull left and a 0.4 pull right. So, it has a ton of recoil, and its first shot recoil multiplier is 3.0. So, trying to kill anything at any sort of range is going to take some talent, and that, I think, is the reason that I really liked this gun in this game, because if you didn't have recoil management figured out in this game, you were pretty much done for trying to use the F2000. The recoil decrease per second is 18.0, and your base accuracy spread is 0.4, which is the same as carbine class guns, but with the heavy barrel installed, you can bring that back down to 0.3 and make it an even contender with the AEK 971. Your spread increase per round is 0.1, just like other assault rifles. So basically what this means is that your base spread with the F2000 with a heavy barrel is going to be 0.3. If you fire 7 rounds in a burst, your spread is going to be at 1.0. It just adds 0.1 to your spread every round of continuous fire. So, sitting on the trigger is going to be a poor tactic to employ with this gun, or really any gun, but the addition of a foregrip only means that if you use one less round in your burst, your spread is going to be about the same. You get your proficiency dog tag. There are proficiency dog tags and mastery dog tags available for the F2000. The mastery dog tags, I think, are the only ones that actually are worth anything, because once you have 500 kills with a gun, you can pretty well say that you have mastered that weapon, or you know that you don't like that weapon, or you know that you like that weapon. 500 kills is a pretty decent benchmark, and I'm kind of glad that DICE threw those dog tags in there, because it makes it very easy to tell which guns and which guns you do not fully understand. As far as recommended setups, don't use anything zoomed, because the recoil and spread on this gun is just going to get you murdered. So I would advise using red dot sights, or reflex sights, or holographic sights. Even though the holographic sights in Battlefield 3 have a very tiny, unrealistic zoom, it is nothing near, let's say, an ACOG or an M145 sight, which would be just about impossible to use on this gun because of its recoil. So, I'm not using a foregrip because, as mentioned before, it's going to increase my base spread by 0.1. And on a gun with a base spread of 0.4, I have a heavy barrel installed that'll bring it back down to 0.3. So technically, if I put the foregrip back on, I would be at carbine level accuracy, which is not bad, but I also wanted to kind of increase this gun's ability to reach out and touch somebody, so I was just dealing with the extra recoil and kind of getting over it, so to speak. The first shot recoil multiplier is unaffected by anything but the full suppressor, I believe. I'm using the heavy barrel to bring my accuracy back down. You could potentially run a suppressor on this gun, but if you were to run a suppressor and a foregrip, your spread would be at 0.6, which is just abysmal. It would be equal to firing an M249 from the shoulder. It's dang near impossible to hit anything with that, at least accurately. I'm using the 44 Magnum handgun because you guessed it, you may not have guessed it. The F2000 is a close quarter gun, therefore I needed a pistol that could reach out and blow somebody's face off it at pretty decent range. So the 44 Magnum was of course the gun of choice. I could have potentially used the M1911, but the 44 Magnum is going to be making a return in Battlefield 4, so I want to kind of get used to it so I can see how much different it is in the next game. I've already kind of mastered the 9mm in Battlefield 3, so Battlefield 4 9mm, I don't expect them to be much different, but I'm just kind of also saddened to see the M1911 handgun go, because that is absolutely my favorite handgun in the game. The S-Tac is awesome, but I've just used the standard M1911 as it is the most representative of true M1911s. I am using the foregrip here. You'll notice that I switched from the Cobra sight to the red dot sight, and the simple reason for that is the Cobra sight is actually decently hard to use on this gun. I don't usually have this issue, but the way that this gun fires, I prefer having a centered dot. So basically, this was the first game I played with the F2000 yesterday, so I was kind of getting myself broken in with the red dot reflex sight, and then I kind of worked my way back into the Cobra so that I could sort of master it again. Even if you haven't noticed, the F2000 is big. In fact, it is very big, and it takes up a pretty decent amount of your screen whenever you're not aiming down your sights. That is simply due to the fact that the actual gun is very bulky. It's not uncomfortable, though, I've heard. I've heard it's big and it's kind of boxy, but just the form factor and the fact that it's a bullpup design means that that is basically irrelevant, because the entire internals are basically just the stock. Now, that gun, if you look at it, it sort of redefines the term full stock versus retractable stock, but that was all part of the design. And the reason that the upper portion of the weapon is so thick is because the brass doesn't actually fly directly out of the bolt carrier. Instead, it travels down these tubes and comes out the front portion of the gun, and you can switch it from the left to right side, I believe, but it's so far forward. The idea was to make it ambidextrous without having to do any minor changes, or major changes even, because M4 platform guns and AK platform guns are very notorious for being not so friendly for the left-handed shooter if it was originally set up from the factory to be a right-handed gun, because the brass will fly out and hit you in the arm, hit you in the face, hit you wherever, and that brass is going to be really flippin' hot after you just fired your gun. So, as always, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think, what guns you think you're going to be missing the most in Battlefield 4 that aren't going to be making it into the vanilla, be it from Battlefield 3, Bad Company, any old game. Just go ahead and let me know. So, as always, thanks for watching. I already said that, I think. Have a good one, and take it easy.